Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Pop and Dine. Today is a very exciting but kind of nerve-wracking video because I'm going to be making croissants for the first time. I know everyone who speaks French is probably cringing at the way I'm saying it, but one thing at a time. The new season of Emily in Paris comes out this month, and when I think of Paris, one of the first foods that come to mind are croissants or croissant. Plus, we see Emily eating them on the show a lot. I love trying new things in the kitchen and putting my skills to the test, so let's get started and see if I can do it. Okay, so we're starting with all of our dry ingredients. So I have my flour, and then I'm going to add my sugar and my salt, and then the yeast. So I always get nervous when working with yeast, so we'll see how it goes. I'm using instant yeast. She said we can use either or, so I just pulled it out of the fridge and I have to use 4 teaspoons. I also heard that you shouldn't mix, or that salt deactivates the yeast from a different recipe I was looking at, but she doesn't say anything about that, so we'll just go for it. So 4 teaspoons. And then we have to whisk it all together. Okay, so now we have our butter, and it's how much is it? It's 1 1/4 cup, so 2 1/2 sticks, and I cut them into like 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch slices. I think that's kind of accurate. So we're gonna add them to our flour, and then we have to coat them. We're gonna stir so that all the butter pieces get coated. I'll try to like separate them, I think. And I think the key to this recipe is that the butter needs to stay cold the whole time. So I'm probably making it kind of warm, touching it with my fingers, but I feel like it'll be too hard to stir if I don't. Okay, so now we have to coat the butter chunks in flour and give it a nice stir. Okay, and then now we have to add our cold milk, about 1 cup. So she says you may need slightly more or less, so I'll just kind of start with like maybe 3/4 of a cup, and we'll go from there. And I think the dough is gonna look kind of like clumpy, but it's supposed to. Oops. A dough is supposed to form with all these butter chunks. Oh God, this looks so weird. Okay, I'm gonna add even more milk, but maybe not all. She made it look so easy in the video. Obviously, she probably cut out a lot of the mixing, but yeah, we don't have our dough forming just yet. I've probably added like 1 cup and I don't know, maybe like 1/4 of milk. So this is already harder than what I thought it was going to be, but I think we're getting there. I used probably about 1.5 cups of milk. Maybe I measured my flour wrong, I don't know. But I think I have like a decent dough that's formed, so we have to wrap it in plastic wrap, and then we actually have to chill it for an hour. So here's my dough. Just gonna plop it onto here. I'm not gonna worry about getting all these little pieces in the bowl mixed into the dough because I've already been mixing it for a little bit. So here it is. Looks kind of weird, I don't know. We just gotta trust the process. I'm just gonna wrap it up like she did, and we will put it in the fridge. And I'll see you back in an hour. Okay, we're back. So the dough has been chilling for an hour. It's looking kind of strange, but we will see what happens. We have to do the laminating process. So that's where I've never done it before, so we'll see how it goes, but we're going to roll out the dough, repeatedly keep folding it so that we build up layers of dough and butter. So we'll see how it goes. We have to do it on a lightly floured surface. Put some of that down. And then she says to do it like 3 to 5 times until the dough is smooth and we have like large streaks of butter. So I'm gonna gently roll it into like a longer rectangle. Wow, this looks so like clumpy and strange. It's like hard to believe that this will make good croissants, but I guess this is how you do it. Okay, so now I'm going to fold it into thirds, like making another rectangle. And then we have to flip it again, 90 degrees. And then we just do it again. Okay, now we're gonna fold it again and then flip. So that was 2 times. And I know the key here is for the butter to stay nice and cold. So if we start to feel like it is getting warm, we have to put it back in the fridge to chill. Okay, this is the 3rd fold. Got to put some strength into it. I think the butter still feels cold, so I'm gonna keep going and not refrigerate it. And I think I'll just do it one more time. Okay, so I did it 5 times and I think it looks good. It's smooth and flat, but still has the streaks of butter. So now we have to wrap it up again and refrigerate it for another hour. So those chunks of butter seem kind of strange to have in the dough, but I know that's right. And I think I have to do more research about why that's needed in croissants. I think it has something to do with like the way it bakes. The butter is like enclosed in the dough and it'll puff up nicely. So will you guys be watching Emily in Paris? It's season 4, part 1 comes out in August, and then they're doing part 2 in September. Do you like how shows are doing? Like the season comes out, but in 2 parts? I don't know if I do, but let me know in the comments if you'll be watching. I will say it's kind of a show I love to hate. Like I don't love it, and I don't think it's like that good, but I can't stop watching it, and I'll watch it all, the whole season. Okay, I'm back. I had my lunch. The dough rested in the fridge and it looks different. Like it looks like puffy now and fluffy, so that's exciting. So now we're going to divide it into 2, and then each piece we're gonna roll into our rectangles to form our croissants. So we'll just do it step by step. Wow, it actually looks really good. This knife looks really aggressive, but I don't have a dough cutter, so cut it in half, and we'll just work with 1/2 at a time so that it's easier to handle. So I'll lightly flour my surface again. Look at these layers. That looks promising, I think. Hopefully it rolls out easy. Sometimes doughs can be kind of tricky. I didn't have a rolling pin for the longest time and would use an empty wine bottle. I don't recommend that. Like just buy a rolling pin for $10 and it makes your life so much easier. So it's kind of firm. Seems like it's kind of hard to roll out, but I'll just keep going and hopefully it starts to stretch out more. I have to flour the bottom a bit more. It's kind of sticking and the butter chunks are like sticking to the counter. I don't know. I have to make it into a rectangle that's like 10 inches by 22 inches. So I'm just gonna keep going and see if I can get there. It is kind of hard to roll out, I will say. So this is what the bottom looks like. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be. I also think the flour I'm using has like these brown specks because my counter was completely clean before I started and I'm seeing all these little flecks everywhere. Okay, I'm almost there. It has to be like 1/8 of an inch thick. So I feel like I'm pretty much there. Okay, so that was kind of hard, not gonna lie. Now we have to, I'm gonna trim the edges and then cut it into larger rectangles. So I'll try to do this as straight as I can. Oh my God, oops. Oh, that turned out kind of nice. Maybe that can bake into something. Oops, I think I might have cut off too much. Seems like a waste, but we have to get like straight edges, so that's why. Yeah, this line is not straight on this side. So now we have this large rectangle, and now I'm gonna cut it into more rectangles. So she cut it into 4 more, so I'll do like 3 slices. Now we cut each of these diagonally. And then you're supposed to do like this little notch. I think she does it because it helps the croissant lay better by giving it like, I don't really know. I think it helps it lay better once you fold it up. So I'll try to do it as tight as I can. Then she kind of tucked the ends together like this. So that's gonna go on my baking sheet. Do the little notch. I think I could have rolled the dough out maybe a little bit thinner, but it was so hard. Maybe some of them I won't like tuck together. I feel like this one's so big that it won't. The ends don't really want to bend together. It's not perfect and it doesn't look like hers, but it's not bad. It's kind of cute. So if you come look at my tray, I kind of have three that turned out kind of more dainty and small. And then I have 3 that are kind of big and look like these, they look like snails or something. But now these have to sit for another hour. So when you're making this recipe, you have to have a lot of time. I think I might like just wrap these scraps up and just bake them too, whatever shape they'll kind of turn out, and I'll just kind of roll them up 1 more hour or so, and then we'll be back. Okay, so it's been another hour. This is taking so long, but you gotta work hard for good things. So they've been proofing for an hour, and this first tray that I made has doubled in size, so they look pretty good. And if you look over here, my second tray that I did with the second half of the dough, it actually went way smoother. The dough was barely sticking to the counter. They rolled out really nicely. So too bad I didn't get that one on camera, but here they are. And then I made little mini ones with the scraps that I had because I felt so sad to throw out those pieces. So I have these little mini ones that I'll be baking. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we'll bake the first ones that I rolled out, and we have to drench them, or not drench, but put an egg wash on them so that they'll turn out more golden. So I just whisked 1 egg with some water, like 2 teaspoons. So I'm wondering if they're too close together and they'll like touch each other on the pan. I'm just gonna like move them over slightly, just this one. Okay, so now we'll gently brush them with the egg wash, and I'll try to make sure I get it all over the croissant. So now they're going in the oven for about 15 minutes at 375. I'm so excited. Okay, timer so I don't forget. Maybe I'll put it on for like 13 minutes, just in case. Moment of truth. I always grab things so weird. Okay, here they are. It smells really good in the house. I don't think they look like something you'd get at like a bakery, but they look pretty good for like my first time. I think they're hollow. So now I'm just gonna let it cool a little bit and then we can dig in and try them. I'm excited. Okay, so I've baked both of the trays. I think these little ones, my second batch that I rolled out, they look a little more pretty in my opinion, but I have to say, like, I'm really proud of myself and I'm so excited to try them. What I wanna do is I wanna see if it has the nice crunch when I push it down, and then I'll pull it apart to see if we have those nice layers. This one's speaking to me, so I wanna do this one. It looks so pretty. I'm so proud of it. Okay, here it goes. Oh, okay. Kind of anticlimactic, but I heard a bit of a crunch. Okay, oh my gosh, yeah. Like a croissant, exactly what you'd think. Wow, look at those layers. I'm actually so proud of myself right now. Okay, so now I gotta try it and see how it tastes. I actually just had a croissant yesterday at a bakery, so it'll be interesting to compare. Oh my God. It's so good. Wow, that is so good. That buttery flavor, it's flaky, crunchy. Wow, it is so good. I honestly, if I had to rate this out of 10, like a 10. Like, this is so good. I'm so proud of myself. It did take a lot of effort though, but I think it's worth it. Well, this just goes to show that you can honestly do anything that you try. Like, I always thought I could never make a pastry like this because it just seemed way too complicated. But look, I put aside some time, I followed the steps, and I did it. And they turned out so beautiful. Like I cannot even believe this right now. As you know, this has taken a lot of my time, so it's time for me to go. This is something fun that you can make for Emily in Paris. So let me know if you'll be watching this new season, and let me know if there's any other shows that you want me to make a recipe to. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.